Well, hello everyone. My name's Wolfman Mozzie and welcome to Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, brought to you by Fatshark, the makers of Vermintide and Vermintide 2, which I was a huge fan of. Unlike Vermintide, which was the fantasy setting of Warhammer, Warhammer Darktide is based in Warhammer 40k, as the name would suggest, which means we are in the grim dark future. And oh, how grim it is. You may be asking yourself, Darktide? I've never heard of it. What kind of game is Darktide?
Here they come!
Well, think of it as a cooperative, horde-based game, much like the beloved zombie game Left 4 Dead, or other similar games. But as I said previously, we're in for Warhammer 40k, baby. Now, the closed beta was just released on the 14th. Will be open to those invited till October 16th, so we got 2 days to try this out. And amongst all the slashing, bashing, shooting, and laser zapping,
Brace for impact!
oh, and don't forget the psychic powers, there are 4 classes to cater to the different arsenals. First one is the veteran sharpshooter, which prefers to be at range and reach out and touch the heretics with, say for example, their last gun, a laser precision rifle that is great for popping domes and zapping baddies. Then we have the zealot preacher, a righteous warrior that relies on their holy wrath to dominate the heretics and purge them from these lands. What I've played so far, they seem to specialize in close range combat and that have some unique passives that help cater to the close range combat, such as having damage buffs when they're at lower health, to a ability that will charge into enemies and regenerate their toughness. Then we have the Psyker, which is, think sci-fi wizard. They use psychic powers to draw upon warp energy to literally pop heads. I'm not kidding. They make brains explode. Oh. They also have some other psychic abilities like a psychic shove ability, also a sweet revolver. If you want to feel like a sci-fi wizard gunslinger, Psyker's kind of perfect for you. Now we come to the Ogren, the gentle giant.
I hope you want to fight!
Let us remember not to upset the Ogren!
Keep watching, it gets better!
Well, actually, the bloodthirsty giant. Ogrens are abhumans, which in Warhammer are kind of like mutants, but not really. There's a lot of different types of mutants in Warhammer, I guess, from having a third arm, to growing a tentacle out of your chest, to just being an oversized human, like the Ogrens. The Ogrens, being abhumans, are actually accepted into humanity in the Imperium, whereas a lot of the mutants in this universe aren't. The Ogren, besides its enormous size and strength, has increased health and toughness. Their special ability is that they charge through in a straight line through enemies. Their starting ranged weapon is a scatter gun. It's a blunderbuss. It just fires. It's a shotgun blast. It fires a single shell and devastates everyone in front of it. And instead of like some of the other classes that throw grenades or have the brain popping ability, the Ogren just throws a grenade ammo crate at the end. Now let me specify. They just throw the crate, and that's it. They just whip a big metal box at enemies. It's amazing. So if you want to feel like a tank wading through enemies, waving your mace that looks tiny in your hands but is practically the size of a human, look no further. Oh, also, every weapon has a special ability, and the starting melee weapon for the Ogren, the special ability is you just slap enemies. I don't really think it does much damage. It may do a couple points of damage, but man, is it fun to do. Anyway, Ogren's fantastic. I love them so much. So now that we've established the setting and the classes that you can play as. Well, the next logical question is, what do you do in the game? What's the point? Well, simply put, purge the heretics.
Hey, current pilgrims! We fight in his holy name!
But that's kind of always the case in Warhammer. To be more specific, and I'll try not to give away any story elements to it, but you have this hive city that has been overrun with the forces of chaos. You play as a prisoner. You have done some crime, and you can actually choose what crime you were committed for, but you committed some sort of crime to the Imperium, and instead of serving your sentence, you're essentially given a choice. Try and work off your freedom by purging these heretics and completing different missions, or rot away in some dark hole that I'm sure is not that pleasant. You can imagine which option to choose. Each mission is a little bit different, and there is some randomness to the game, from the special enemies to the waves of enemies that can spring up at any time, to the actual objective of the mission.
Deploy data intelligence.
Some missions you are sent to kill a specific target. Some mission you're sent to reclaim special ammo. That's one ammo box. And a number of different objectives. Now, what's your reward? Well, let me tell you, that sweet, sweet bounty comes in the form of weapons. And quite the nice variety of weapons. There's different rarities, and the higher rarities have different passive perks you can get, but from the time that I've spent so far in the beta, all the weapons feel really good. They're very unique, very distinct, and they're a lot of fun to use. I actually didn't run into a class that I didn't enjoy, which is rare. Usually I don't like the classes that are very up close and melee focused, but this game, they were fantastic. Now, in some of the videos to come, I'm going to show off each of the classes and have a run with that class so you can see some gameplay, and I'll show you the special abilities, the passives, but it looks like there's going to be quite a bit of customization in the individual classes that I'm very excited to see. Looks like there's actually some feats in the game that you unlock. I don't know if they're level-based unlocks or if you have to do specific tasks to unlock them or purchase them in-game. I haven't come across that, but it looks like there's quite a few of them to experiment with different combinations to find the perfect warrior for you. Another thing that looks very intriguing to me in the game is it looks like there's a lot of synergy with your party as well. The different classes have different auras that give party-wide buffs to allies that are close enough to them. It looks like there's going to be opportunity to play around with those auras. There is online co-op to the game, so you and your friends or just random people can team up to complete each mission. The closed beta we only have for 2 days, but we don't have to wait much longer for this game to actually come out. Its full release is set for November 30th on a multitude of different platforms. Definitely check your preferred platform if you're interested. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I just want to give a basic overview of what Darktide is in case anyone's curious before I post more videos that focus more on the classes. I am interested to see what you think. If you've played the closed beta, if you have any questions or comments about the game, please feel free to leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Slap.